morning everyone. We're making some lockdown cheese scones today. I'll just go through some things that I've got here. I've got 450 grams of standard flour, which I've already sieved into my bowl, and in that bowl I've put 3 teaspoons of baking powder, quarter of a teaspoon of salt, a wee pinch of cayenne pepper, and over here I've got around about 70 grams of grated Colby cheese, 300 mils of buttermilk, which we can actually use regular milk as well. I just had this left over from the other day. I've grated my butter, so that's sitting there ready to go, and I have my tray ready. So the tray is just lightly greased with spray oil, and then I put a little bit of flour on there, and essentially all you do is that you knock off any excess flour, and that's perfect for baking scones. It's sort of like the non-stick version. So make sure that when we use the butter, that the butter's nice and cold. You don't want the butter too soft. Now we're going to rub the butter in to the flour so it looks a little bit like coarse breadcrumbs. You don't actually want it too fine. So just use this part of your hand, your fingers and the upper part of your palms. You don't want to create too much heat. Try and do it nice and quick. Rub that in. Now if you're going to make a different type of scone, maybe you're going to make a sultana scones, or you're going to make date scones. Dates are really good. You'd need about 80 grams of dates for this same sort of recipe, but a really good thing is to soften the dates in a bit of boiling water before you do it. Sultanas equally, you can add the sultanas in there, but we'll add that in right at the end, whereas at this stage all I'm doing here is rubbing in the butter into the flour. Now the butter has to be cold, otherwise it's not going to rub in very well. And what that does is essentially it shortens the gluten and gives the scones its nice light texture and crumbly texture. I'll rub that in there. You don't have to go too fine, it's not that important, just so you can feel that most of the big lumps are broken down. That's why the cheese grater is really good for that. So the butter will also, when you bake the scones, the butter melts and creates steam, which gives the scones its nice lightness. So it's a combination of almost like a lamination technique, and also we've got the chemical technique with the baking powder. Right, that's going to be good. Right, I'm going to add the buttermilk. And just work that in. Now you really want the mix nice and wet. So you might have to adjust it with a bit more milk. About this stage I'm going to add my cheese. I'm going to leave a little bit of cheese for the top. I know it needs a little bit more milk, just by the feel of it, it's quite stiff. Now you want to fold this through as lightly as you can. You do not want to over mix it. It should be really wet. Wee bit more. Right, there we are. See, very sticky, very wet. Now before you go and cut them out, put a little bit of flour on a bench. This will stop it sticking to my bench. Put the flour in your hands, will stop it sticking to your hands. It is nice and sticky. So I'm aiming for probably 5 or 6 centimetres. we're going to be using our cutters. So cutters are just dusted a bit of flour, have your board ready, sorry, your tray ready, and then we just basically cut it and lift it and try and get those nice straight sides. Each time you do it, just dust it a little bit with flour and it will cut straight through. Now make sure you got your oven preheated around 220 degrees. With my Shatlock, it's always running about 20 degrees too hot, so I've got mine set at 200. But really hot, you know, the hotter it is, the better really, because that's going to create fast steam and that's going to create that lift and the lightness within our cheese scones. So all these leftovers here, just combine them back together. Keep on going. Waste not want. Right. Now, a really important thing, you don't have to actually use egg wash, but egg wash creates a nice golden look to them. You could just use milk, but when you go to use it, you just want to make sure, I mean, a bristle pastry brush is better than a silicone one, because it will hold the egg wash better. So that's just one egg, probably about 50 mils of milk. We just try and keep that on top, don't let it run down the side, because as it cooks, that protein in the egg will start to coagulate and it will inhibit its ability to rise nice and high. So just keep it right on the middle. Cheese on each one, just in the middle. Didn't quite save enough cheese, but anyway, plenty of cheese in there. So it's really important to have your oven preheated, because once you've activated the baking powder with the milk, I mean the wet liquids in the scone mix, it's already starting to rise. So we really want to make sure we get it in the oven straight away. These are only going to be in there between up to 10 minutes max, but roughly around 7 to 8 minutes. Now they're ready, so I'll put those in now. And I'll see you at the end. Looking forward to it.